Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings, with your host Ram. Well, on this particular cricket show, it is the decider that happened between New Zealand and India, and as I said, uh, this was going to be it was even Steven still now, and India were the ones who were the victors. But let me tell you, it was a truncated affair. It became a 8 overs a side affair, finally it was a real shootout, and it ended up with India actually the victors. So it was a real test of some skill there, I would say, and I would say the skill test was India was the one who actually won the match just by 6 runs. So so that is something which will be so basically India winning that match and winning the T20 series 2-1, and also just have a brief look on a unique hat trick that happened in the Australian domestic season. We are talking about Mitchell Starc, who's really has been bowling with lots of fire in his belly this season after the injury. Looks to be absolutely fresh, and I'm sure he's really giving some goose pimples to the England players here, because as you know England are in Australia, and they are preparing themselves for the Ashes, and Stark could be someone who could be a great force to reckon with for England. Could be a great challenge, as he took two hat tricks, in the sense he took a hat trick in the first innings, he took a hat trick in the second innings in New South Wales against Western Australia. So I'll be talking about that. So these are the two things. But I'm going to start off with this very short summary of the decider, the final T20, which happened at a new ground, the Greenfield ground in Kerala, in Trivandrum. And I have to say that definitely for 2.5 hours the play did not start because of heavy rain, but nevertheless a play definitely started, and finally at least the crowd who had paid so much money to watch this match at least got some money's worth with India winning the match by 6 runs. So let's have a look at at this particular match. So New Zealand were the ones who actually won the toss, and it was decided that only 8 overs a side were possible, and one should be glad that at least the decider was played so that they could come up with a result, and India were the eventual victors. So New Zealand won the toss, and they decided that they will insert the Indians into bat. And right from the word go, one was saying when the Indian batsman got out to bat that how difficult it was to bat on this pitch. The ball was not coming onto the bat. The ball was gripping. The outfield was soggy. There was a lot of things which was going on, and one knew for a fact that life was very difficult here on this particular pitch. It all started off with the first wicket to be claimed by Tim Southee, was the one who provided them the breakthrough when he actually had him caught by Santner for 6 of 6 deliveries, 1-4. That was wicket number 1, with the Indian score rating 15 for 1 in the third over. The next wicket to go was Rohit Sharma. Again, it was Tim Southee. It was an identical dismissal. Rohit Sharma caught Santner, bowled Southee for 8 of 9 balls with 1-4. That made it 15 for 2. Virat Kohli, well, as I said, this man does not matter how the pitch is. He still goes for it, and that's what he precisely did. He hit 1 6 and 1 boundary in a knock of 13 of 6 balls before Sodhi actually beat him to it, and Sodhi took his wicket. He was gone for 13, which made the score 30 for 3. In the fourth over, Shreyas Iyer was also a victim of the bowling of East Sodhi for 6, so made it 48 for 4 in the sixth over, and then Manish Pandey was the one who was the highest scorer with 17 besides his name, as he was there till the final over. Manish Pandey, his contribution was 17 of 11 deliveries, 1-4 and 1-6. And finally, Hardik Pandya did a good job in the end to be not out on 14 of 10 balls with 1-6. Dhoni did not face a ball, and the Indians ended up with 67 for 5 of the 8 overs. Trent bowled 2 overs, 1 for 13. Mitchell Santner 2 overs, none for 16. 2 overs, 2 for 13 for Tim Southey. And East Sodhi was the most costliest, but nevertheless he purchased his wickets. 2 overs, no maiden, 2 for 23. Now it was the turn for New Zealand to chase 68 runs to get in 8 overs. So it was at a rate of 8.37 that New Zealand had to actually chase this particular target. It was interesting to see as to what happened. And for India it was Bhuvneshwar Kumar who actually provided them a very, very quick breakthrough as that knuckle ball of his went and hit the stumps of Martin Guptill. So that was wicket number 1. Martin Guptill was gone, bowled by Kumar, 1 of 3 balls. The score at 8 for 1 after just 1 over. The next to go, it was a big wicket, and what a catch from Rohit Sharma in the mid-on region. I think deep mid-on. It was very well taken by Munro because Rohit Sharma had to actually pedal backwards to take this catch, and I thought that was a magnificent catch as Jasprit Bumrah was the bowler and Colin Munro was given a testing time by Jasprit Bumrah in the first 2 deliveries by testing him with some length deliveries, and then finally Munro decided to really go at it, and in that process, as I said, Rohit Sharma holding up to a wonderful catch, and Jasprit Bumrah was the successful bowler, and that was a big wicket because Colin Munro could have taken the game away, but Colin Munro's wicket was very vital for India, and India got it. Jasprit Bumrah and Rohit Sharma should get the utmost credit for taking a brilliant catch. Colin Munro was gone for 7 of 6 deliveries with 1-6. After that, it was Kane Williamson at the crease along with Glenn Phillips, who was there at the crease. Glenn Phillips and the skipper Kane Williamson were there at the crease, but Kane Williamson was run out by a very good throw from Pandya for 8 of 10 deliveries. Glenn Phillips' wicket was taken by Kuldeep Yadav not before Phillips made 11 of 9 balls, 2 fours, and then Henry Nichols was a victim of the bowling of Jasprit Bumrah for 2, and Tom Bruce was actually run out in the 7th over for 4 with a Pandya Dhoni combination, but Colin D. Granholm was still there. He had already, he was the one who could, as you know, definitely has the potential to hit big as well as an all-rounder. But so he was there, Mitchell Santner was there at the crease, and finally it all came down for the New Zealanders to get 19 runs for the final over. Granholm definitely did his bit by contributing an unbeaten 17 of 10 balls, and it was I think it was a good move on the part of Hardik Pandya, Virat Kohli, the Indian captain, to toss the ball to Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya definitely was hit for a 6, but he came back very well in the last 2-3 deliveries to see to it that India won the match and the decider, so that's how India won the match, and the New Zealanders were restricted in the 8 overs to 61 for 6, India getting a 6 runs victory in the process, and also taking the T20 series 2-1. It was a very well contested T20 series, one thought. And let's have a look at the bowling first. But let me have a word and look at the way Jasprit Bumrah bowled. 2 overs, no maiden, 2 for 9, the big wicket of Colin Munro. Bhuvneshwar Kumar did his best, 2 overs, no maiden, 1 for 18. But let me also talk about Yuzvendra Chahal. Now, Yuzvendra Chahal, he was not in the wickets column, but one has to really credit it's not only Jasprit Bumrah. Yuzvendra Chahal, the right arm leg spinner, had 2 overs for 8 runs, but what he was doing well, he was forcing the batsman to reach for the ball by slipping the ball wide of the off stump, but he had great control over it. He did not waver, and definitely he made life very, very difficult for New Zealand batsmen to score off. Kuldeep Yadav 101 for 10, Hardik Pandya 101 for 11, and thus finally the Greenfield International Stadium becoming the 19th venue as far as T20 cricket was concerned in Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala, finally ended with India winning the three-match series 2-1, and Jasprit Bumrah, who had been doing an excellent job in this T20 series, not only in this match but also throughout the series, took away both the man of the match and the player of the series, and truly deserved so. So thus the T20 series between India and New Zealand came to an end. But at least I would say, at least the fans got a share or a taste of what they wanted. Even though the match did not go the whole hog, I thought it still would have definitely given some heart for the fans who had assembled at the Greenfield International Stadium in Kerala. So congratulations India, winning the T20 series 2-1. But what a wonderful series it was. Now, next thing that I'm going to talk about is something of a hat-trick. Now hat-tricks are something which are very rare in cricket, as you know. Now the reason I'm talking about this is because Mitchell Starc yesterday in a match between where he was playing for New South Wales against Western Australia at the Sydney Cricket Ground, did a took a unique hat-trick. One would have always heard about one hat-trick being happening, but have you ever heard about two hat-tricks in one match? And that's what precisely happened. Mitchell Starc went on to take two hat-tricks. He took a hat-trick in the first innings, he took a hat-trick in the second innings, and that was what Mitchell Starc did. And as I said, Mitchell Starc would be someone who would be a sort of a real thorn for Australia in the Ashes, according to me. And this really, he has really been sounding the alarm bells for England in this Ashes series, I would say, for the Ashes series. As you know, England are just preparing for the Ashes series right now. Now, the other thing that I would like to share on the topic of hat-tricks, well, if you look at the card there, I'm not going to it. There have been instances of two hat-tricks in a match. There are 3, 4. With Mitchell Starc, to me, is the eighth bowler to do so. The other being Amin Lakhani. He did it against playing for combined 11 against the Indians at Multan, so that was played in Pakistan. And then J.S. Rao did it. Jenkins has done it. Parker, but among all of this, he became the second Australian to do so. And the thing that I would like to share here is there is only one man who had 3 hat-tricks in 2 consecutive matches. He had 3 hat-tricks in 2 consecutive matches. He also took a hat-trick in his debut innings as well. His name is J.S. Rao. Now this, we are talking about India. It happened way back in the year 1963-64, when J.S. Rao was playing for services against Punjab at the Amritsar Cricket Ground, and J.S. Rao went on to take 3 hat-tricks in 2 consecutive matches, which has never been rivaled till now. And he also, and let me tell you, he took a hat-trick in his debut innings. Now that is something only can happen in a dream. A debut a hat-trick on debut. J.S. Rao in a sort of I think it was a Ranji Trophy match, if I'm not wrong. And A. Trott did something even above that. I would say, what do you call this? A 4-trick? Because he took 4 wickets in one instance. So he's the only bowler in the annals of cricket who has taken 4 wickets in 4 balls. His name is A. Trott. He did it while playing for Middlesex against Somerset. So I just wanted to share this hat-trick records here. Other than that, the news is that Stephen Finn. Stephen Finn is someone who always have felt that because of the intense competition that is happening as far as English bowling is concerned, he never had his place cemented in the England team. And well, I was very glad to see him come for the Ashes tour, probably because of Ben Stokes not coming. But now there is more bad news for Stephen Finn. He has been ruled out of the Ashes tour with a knee injury, and the reinforcement is going to be Tom Curran, who's getting an opportunity to come to Australia and play in the Ashes. So what a shame that Stephen Finn, after getting the opportunity once again, uh, injury has befallen him and is out of the Ashes. I really feel sorry for Stephen Finn because I always felt that because of the intense competition in the English bowling, Stephen Finn has not got his spot. And over and above that, to add insult to injury, he has also lost he's out of the Ashes too with an injury. Well, dear fan subscribers, so this actually brings an end to this daily cricket show of mine. So it's time for me to bid you all a very good night. Thank you.